Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infinite Integration, where infinite possibility meets daily practice. I'm Tanys Coughlan from Twila Lifestyle Community, Twila Lifestyle Academy. I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer. Well, Jennifer is usually my co-host.
I
Today, it's Jacqueline Richards, who is always my co-host on this show. It's one of those days, Jack. Sorry.
I love those days. I do.
We've had a lot of space weather in the last few days, like really high KP index, up around 8 or 9. It's very rarely up there, so that's why you're seeing so many of the northern lights and stuff really far down, more than we have in about 20 years. So it's been quite a time this week. So I'm a little bit discombobulated.
I think you're not alone. I believe that to be true.
It is.
There's a whole lot of discombobulation going on.
Discombobulation. I like that word. Discombobulation. And since we're going
how do you spell that?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not going to attempt that on here. But
no, not today.
Not today. So today we are talking about integrating confidence with energy flow. So that's an interesting one, right? So when we hear the phrase self-worth, what does that awaken for us? And so before the show, we were chatting and I said, so what is that? Like, what's the difference then between self-worth and self-esteem? Because I was like, how do we want to bring this forward? And what I got was self-esteem is how you evaluate yourself. It's shaped by performance, feedback, comparison, achievements, roles, and how you believe others see you. Self-esteem can rise and fall depending on circumstances, success, praise, productivity, appearance, or external validation. So in simple terms, self-esteem asks, how well am I doing?
Yeah.
Whereas self-worth is how you value yourself. It's inherent, it's steady, not dependent on outcomes. Self-worth exists even when you fail, rest, change direction, or disappoint others. It's the deep knowing that your existence alone has value. So self-worth says, I matter because I exist. So that's the big difference. I think that's pretty cool. It's a big difference, right? One's external validation, the other one is internal validation.
Yeah.
So,
wow, what a way to start the game. I do like that.
Yeah. So and how does that differ then from confidence? So confidence, I think, is based more in the self-esteem, right? That external validation, whereas self-worth is just inherently within us. We are lovable. We are valuable just because we are.
Yeah. And isn't that something that we ask ourselves? Some of us ask ourselves all the time, every day, wondering, what do they think of me? And it doesn't matter if it's personal, professional, or spiritual. You know, I wonder what the Lord, the essence, the universe thinks about what I just did. I actually have that in my book. It's part of the question. What do you think the universe is thinking about you? What do you think your family, friends are thinking about you? And then what are you thinking about yourself? It is that question that we sometimes ask ourselves when we're taking that beautiful long shower to start our day. It's like, so what will people think of what I'm wearing? What will people think? What would I want to wear? Here's a question I'm asking. I will ask all of you. Do you take out your clothes the night before? And when you take out your clothes the night before, what are you intending to have happen that next day? Is it that show of confidence? Or is it clearly just is that self-esteem? Are you wearing the favorite jacket that's comfy? Or are you wearing the jacket that everyone will think you look great in? Notice how I said everyone will think you look great in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I don't do that much the night before.
Growing up, I had to. That was the game. You need to make sure that everything is out and ready so that you're not wasting time. This is when I was going to school. We were all going to school. There were 4 of us, and we needed to make sure that we weren't wasting any time. Make sure everything's out, the socks are out, the shirt, pants, underwear is out so that you don't have to think about it when you get up in the morning. And I do that sometimes, often, just so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, I would say there's certain instances where I will do that, and it's because I want to make sure something's clean or something like that. But I think my mood changes. I dress depending on my mood many times. So I sort of don't decide until, or I might have a rough idea. Like, example, you're going to some big businessy thing. So I might have an idea that I'm going to wear the black suit.
Yeah.
But then I might decide on a shirt in the morning because the color might depend on how I feel or how I want to feel. So in that way, it's kind of a combination of those two things, I think.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we dress for ourselves because we value ourselves, or are we dressing for self-esteem, which is external? So please put your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And so why do you think so many people feel they need to earn worth rather than remember their worth? That's a good question, right?
It's a great question. As some of our demographics have grown up, have been taught that this is what you need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about you, and it is about what you can offer, what you can give. It's in many, that's exactly how it is. It's all about other people, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure other people are happy with what you are, where you've been, what you do, what you see, what you speak,
Mm-hmm.
even what you've read.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I think it's about the programming, right?
Absolutely.
We've all been brought up to, it's kind of like that fear versus love thing that I talk about a lot, because if we're in a fear-based world, then we're fearful about what people think. And so we're sitting in that, what's my self-esteem at today? As opposed to the love, which is that, unconditional love for self.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting. The idea that we place so much outside the heart, outside our mind,
mm-hmm.
outside our beliefs, and we walk. That's not our talk, though. We go out and we walk the talk because that's our selves. That's not just our selves, but our intuition, our value proposition. And when we're walking on behalf of someone else, the collective self, it's interesting what we've decided to keep to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think there's a certain amount we don't want to be like truly intimate with everybody all the time. Intimate meaning open and sharing personal details. There is a boundary there.
Yes, there is. And boundaries aren't walls. They aren't walls. They're sacred containers for abundance.
There we go. So it's about having that boundary, but with, I think the difference is that when you're speaking from your authentic self, or that remembering of who you truly are, and you're coming forward, people feel that. So from an energetic perspective, if you have self-worth, you're going to be comfortable speaking your truth. You're going to be comfortable coming on a podcast and telling people your life story. Um, well, I mean, to a certain extent, there's always the shyness in there that can be a factor. Um,
Again, boundaries.
exactly,
Boundaries. Yeah.
exactly, boundaries. So I think that authenticity is what people find
Yeah.
attractive. You know, when if you're listening to someone speak and they're being authentic, you can feel it in their voice. You can feel it in their the way they are. You know, whereas if someone's up there and they're just sort of reiterating whatever it is they know and that's it, then it's very it tends to feel pretty dry,
Yeah.
right?
And exactly. And it's in my industry, when I'm talking about money, mortgages, uh, it's twofold. I need to be listening to what the clients, the humans are saying to me. This is what I'd like to have happen. And so that's from them. And then they said, you know what I read? And I didn't read it, it was my friend who read it. Oh, it's my friend's friend who read it. And they said that as they're leafing through it, that this is how it has to work if I need to take care of my TDS and my GDS. And if that happens, then I can have this. And then if my income happens to be at that scale, that price range, then I could do that, or maybe I can't do that. But they said in this book that that's the way it could go. And I have to be in a certain area of town in order to get the most appropriate interest rate. And
Right.
that's, I won't say it's not dry. It's simply that it all came from someone else
Right.
out of whatever books that they were reading.
So my question would be, what do you want?
I, always,
Yeah.
always, what are you looking for? What do the next 3 years look like? Even 3 years, 3 weeks, 3 months? What do the next three look like for you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we don't need that book. We don't need to hear what the friends said. We don't need to know what's um, uh, kind of a pie in the sky.
Mm-hmm. And that's not to say that we don't use book knowledge. You know, I mean,
Oh,
you've done a lot of studying. I've done a lot of study. Like we've done all the sort of
yes, we have.
knowledge stuff. I think what the call here is to tap into your internal wisdom instead of just the knowledge, so
Yeah.
that can come through with the authenticity piece.
I send books to people. I do. Leaf through that. And
Yeah.
then we get to have that, like you said, then we get to have that conversation. Leaf through the book. Leaf through the, that's brilliant. And then we get to have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. So fascinating, eh? The whole thing and how people relate to money. I mean, that's part of why we decided to do this podcast too.
Yeah.
Was about how people relate to money, and how does their self-worth influence the way they relate to money and work and asking for help. I think
It's
that's
it totally, it's the, that whole currency scenario. I
yeah.
have tons of books about the currency and how we came there. And you ask that question that we often ask external and we often ask internal. So if I have the currency, if I have the cash flow, if I have the money, what place would that put me in? How would I feel to be in that place? How many jobs do I need to work to get to that place? I thought I needed to find a way to be, oh, what's that R word? Retired. Do I have to be retired?
What's that?
And exactly. But here it is. What is that? I mean, we may have spoken about it in the other podcasts.
Yeah.
To be retired, what does that mean to you? I ask that question often. I hear people are saying, I got the call. They want me to come in and talk about what I'd like to do after I leave my position.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they're being fired. It's just they will be leaving onto other spaces and other circumstances. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
How long did it take them to figure out, I'm not really sure?
Well, and I think that's an important part of retirement planning, is deciding how you're going to keep yourself busy during that time. Because it looks like we've lost Jacqueline for the moment, but people tend to not be able to know what to do with themselves after they retire.
Yeah.
And so that way, because I took recreation or leisure studies in university, it was one of my minors, and in that they were talking about the therapeutic benefits of recreation, and how when people retire, if they don't have recreational activities or they don't have something coming up for them, that
Yeah.
the life expectancy actually goes down for people that don't have something planned, because they kind of give up on things. So it's important to not only have your financial stuff planned, but also, like, what activities do you want to do? What do you love to do? Plan some of that, right?
But what's your passion? Did you leave it at the door when you were newborn, when you were 6 years old, when you were 16, when you were 26, when you were 36, when you were 46, 56? Where's the passion that you believed you had, and do you still have?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you leave it until you retire that you would find that passion again?
Well, and that is what some of the literature says about that, is to go back to what you enjoyed when you were a kid and then find something in that same vein, because it's more than likely something that you'll resonate with, right? You'll feel good about it.
Absolutely.
So, like finger painting. I like to paint. And so
I just looked at my fingers, finger painting. Yeah. Yeah.
That's an activity I'd like to do again soon. Finger painting.
I think we need a workshop for that. Oh, and let me write that down.
Oh.
A finger painting workshop. I think that'd be great. Think about all the colors you can use and intertwine.
Yeah. We are working on a creativity series. So, you never know what might show up in that series.
I knew it. There's
We'll
always
see. We have some
something.
other awesome
There's
things.
always a series. Like, yay. Exactly.
Yeah. Kaylee will be doing that with us, so that'll be fun. Starting in March. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to make sure I register. Register, people, register.
Well, it's not posted yet, but it will be soon. So, yeah.
Well, there we go. Sorry,
Welcome,
we were
Leah.
just talking about, what's that?
I'm just saying welcome to Leah because she's here. She says hello.
Oh, hi, Leah. Oh, we were talking about self-worth, and self-worth is not a mindset, right? It's an energetic homecoming.
Yeah.
And when we, the collective, when we decide to stop trying to improve our worth, because we were talking about, if I made this much money, if I had that much currency, how would that look like in my life? How did it look like I proved that? Instead of inhabiting it, inhabiting your self-worth. I think, Tanys, you did say, got to live it to be it.
Yeah, embodying
we heard
that,
so
right?
Much. Yeah.
And being in that space. Oh, yes. This is something we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Lots of tears lately, and lots of joy and acceptance. Yeah. Sending you lots of love, Leah. Yeah, and I think that, go ahead.
I was going to say, those moments, sometimes when the alarm goes off and it's time to get up, it's like you want to consider maybe taking another 15, 20 minutes, maybe half a day when you're feeling that way.
Yes.
Yes, I said half a day.
Maybe a full day. Sometimes we need a
Oh,
day.
even better.
Sometimes we just need to be a burrito, roll ourselves up
Oh,
in a blanket and stay in bed. Just be a
oh,
burrito
that's
today.
good.
Yeah, just be a
Yum.
burrito. So, one of our
I
other
could do that.
questions that we have here is, what does integrity look like when it's rooted in self respect rather than fear? What does integrity look like when it's rooted in self respect rather than fear or obligation? I think that's like what they say, like doing the right thing when no one's watching, doing the right thing just because it's the right thing to do, as opposed to afraid of consequences if you don't. I think that's the difference.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate that. It's you never want to say, I never want to
Security.
think it's big, but it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And integrity. What does integrity look like? I mean, integrity is being honest, being authentic. So we've kind of talked about that already, right? Being authentic.
Yeah.
It's also like doing the right thing, what you feel is the right thing. But again, it's all perception. So,
Yeah.
what I think is the right thing might not be what you think is the right thing. So, in terms of integrity, does that mean maybe asking you what the right thing would be for you if I'm trying to help you, as opposed to trying to impose what I think is the right thing for you? You know, I think that might be there's something in there around that too.
Yeah.
It's like performing confidence versus embodying confidence. Yes.
Performing. Are we all actors? Are we on the stage today, every day?
Maybe. I think Shakespeare said that we were
Yeah,
all
he
actors in
did.
a play.
Yeah.
Leah says integrity leaves room for grace and blessings.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
is. And it's
Yeah.
interesting, Tannis, when you were talking about it, what came to me was intuition. Be
Mm-hmm.
intuitive. And it's amazing to decide to trust the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Intuition allows integrity to arrive,
There you go.
or integrity allows intuition to arrive.
I think it's both, right?
Come
And
together.
there's also so self worth deepens when we trust in ourselves, in others, and in life itself. That's an interesting statement right there, right? So I think that's also about not self abandoning ourselves, right? In order to build trust with ourselves, we need to not self abandon. So, like caving to somebody else's ideals, even though that's really not what you want to do. That's like an example of self abandonment, right? We know what we
Yeah.
want to do, and yet we don't do it because somebody else doesn't want you to, or wants to do something different. And sometimes that's like compromise, but it's kind of like that bank account when it comes to the self-worth. We've got to sort of do some compromise, but also build trust with ourselves. That is this one that I'm really feeling, is this a like a do or die thing? If it is, then you need to be true to you and sit in that energy. Because if it's a do or die thing and we don't do it, then we're abandoning ourselves, and there's like this lack of trust in
Yeah.
ourselves. If we don't trust ourselves to do what we need, or to fulfill our needs, or to step into our empowerment,
Mm-hmm.
then that's difficult,
Yep.
right? Because we are innately valuable.
Exactly. It's about honoring yourself, honoring your limits, remembering to live the statement, I trust myself.
Mm-hmm.
Live the statement. Believe in the statement, I trust myself.
Yeah.
When I stand in the mirror, because I've written these things in the bathroom mirror, I've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
I trust myself. Today is a fantastic day. I didn't write on my mirror, I love what I'm wearing, but that could be the next the next game.
It could be. Yeah.
Could be.
I heard something interesting the other day that said that if you say a lot of like mantras, but you don't believe in yourself, like you don't believe it, that your body will actually reject it. And so the person that I heard say this was saying like if you do it as a question, your body can't reject it in the same way, but you're still sending the message to yourself. I thought that was an interesting thing. Because if there's that
Yeah.
cognitive dissonance within and we're arguing with ourselves, if I say, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous," to myself in the mirror, and I'm like, "What?" Your body's not going to believe it, right? So you're not really having the intended effect. You're actually like lying to yourself, is what it feels like. And so that's going to create that cognitive dissonance, and we're not being in integrity with ourselves if we're not actually believing what we're telling ourselves. At least that was the theory that this person
Yeah.
had, and I thought, well, that's an interesting. It's true. I mean, if you tell yourself something because you want to believe it, not because you do, you might have that kind of inner pushback. Have you ever felt that?
Oh, I get to say reality often.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up in the morning and think I should do I should do a mantra, I should do a meditation, I should do my 45 minutes of yoga before I start my day. I should drink that water before I head out. And it's that moment where you think, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. That's how the day starts. I don't think I can. So I walk out. No, I don't do my 45 minutes. I don't take my water. And then I walk to the bathroom to brush my teeth and I see in the mirror, you are amazing. No, not today. No, not today. I go down and make myself a cup of tea. Where's my favorite tea? I, maybe I'm not going to have my favorite tea. Maybe it's not my favorite tea. You know what? Maybe it's not my favorite tea at all. Maybe I'm lying to myself. I woke up saying I'm not sure. And I'm not even an hour and a half into my day, and I'm already telling myself all the things that are incorrect, that are wrong. Now, what if it was a different moment where I did get up thinking, I'm not sure? Then I decided maybe I am sure. I am sure I'm going to do 45 minutes. Oh, I am sure I'm going to drink that water. I believe that when you speak to yourself, let it be the words and the emotions that will take you in an incredibly wonderful, positive day, a
Mm-hmm.
moment. The work's going to get done. The cookies are going to get made.
Well, there's cookies involved. I mean,
I know that's just a given. That's just a given.
yes.
Yeah.
And that is how we build our own trust in
Mm.
ourselves too, right? When we make a commitment to do something like that, like your 45 minutes in the morning, make a
Yeah.
commitment to do it every day. And then as long as we're doing it most days, we're going to trust ourselves to do it. As soon as we sort of fall off that habit, that's where we start to eat into our own self esteem.
Yeah.
It should not affect, however, our self worth because we are worthy of doing it. We are capable of doing it. We're
Yeah.
choosing not to.
We are.
Mhm. And that's
And
okay
isn't
if
that great?
we just need to take out the self judgment in that, right? I think
Ooh,
Leah
self
said
judgment.
it leaves room for grace and compassion, self grace and
Yeah.
self compassion.
Interesting. I was taking a look more at the our nervous system because the 200-hour yoga certification is coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and in uh, part of the moments that we talk about in that training is about the nervous system. So remember I said to you, I get up and maybe life's not so groovy today. Maybe I might have suggested that prosperity flows more easily when my nervous system is okay and understands the value of me. Prosperity will flow, and it always does.
Mm-hmm.
And my nervous system, I'll stop in and drop in a yoga pose that you can come into as you're lying in bed. So the alarm went off and you're not quite sure if you want to get up or not. That's okay because I don't know. What you might want to do is allow the knees to come to the chest, make sure they're hip width apart, and take a beautiful breath. Allow the navel to come to spine. And as you exhale, allow both knees to fall over to the left side. Look to the right. And then allow the arms to come all the way over to the left and take the knees to the right. And then you do that a couple of times. It aligns the system that has been sleeping and allows you to come up and wake up and banter into just that beautiful space. Prosperity flows, and prosperity is not just the dollars. Prosperity is the personal connection, communication. It was a phone call from a friend. It was a letter that you wrote. Prosperity is the water that you drank.
Sip, sip, everyone. Yeah, I think that taking the shoulds out too helps us, right? As opposed to saying I should do this. It's full of judgment. So if we can take the shoulds out, it helps us to step into more of that self-worth. Because should implies, that we're evaluating ourselves or we're judging ourselves, like the self-esteem.
That J word, it's not Jacqueline, judge. And that's when I take a breath and I lift my shoulders, I take them back and release them down and ask myself, am I judging me or am I judging someone else? Or is it something outside of me? Or can I rephrase that? Because maybe it's a question. Tana said, question.
Questions.
Not a judgment, just a question.
Or a self-reflection.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh, even better.
I mean, oftentimes, we're not taught to have self-value or to value ourselves, have self-worth. Our whole childhood is often filled with, do this or you'll get in trouble, or get good grades in school or you're going to get into trouble. It doesn't help you to step into self-worth, right? That's really, and it takes a toll on your self-esteem. So sometimes, we need to do things like reparent ourselves in a way that helps us to build that self-worth instead, right? Dealing with that inner child work and working on the self-esteem and doing forgiveness work with ourselves. I often do the Ho'oponopono with my clients in order to help them move into that sort of self-esteem, because we just need to release some of the judgments, but sometimes that's hard, and we carry all that denser energy in our energy system, and so it's more difficult to move into that higher self-esteem, or even better, self-worth. So
wouldn't it be great if we said to ourselves that we continue to integrate confidence into our energy flow?
And how
To
do we
me,
do that?
I know that's the theme, but what a great mantra. Thank you. How do we do that? Integrate confidence. Is it the mantras that we speak to ourselves about? Is it the food we eat? Is it the people you surround yourself with? I know we've heard about surrounding yourself with 5 people who are beyond you, where you can learn from, who you can learn with. Surround yourself with people who entertain the mind. Surround yourself with people who entertain the body and heart. Surround yourself by people who entertain the spirit around you. That allows you to release, expand,
Grow.
speak to your higher self a lot more often.
Yeah. I think the crux of that is allowing yourself the environment and stuff for you to be able to grow and learn.
Absolutely.
Right? If someone knows more about business than you do, then You're going to learn from that person, even if it's just through conversations, coffee chat. That's all. That's what the water cooler chat is in the workplace. You get so much knowledge just from doing that kind of thing. That's why there's a lot of value in that. And I think that's why people, or government and companies and stuff want you to be in the office so many days, because there is value in that sort of water cooler or the coffee maker chat in the kitchen.
Yeah, the human connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that was why I started Twillo Consulting, my HR business consulting company, because I wanted to put the human in human resources again, right? Because that
Yeah.
is what we need. We need to be human with each other, and that means
Yeah.
building self-worth in your people.
Interesting. So I'm talking about the water cooler chat and the human connection, but not a but, and from an energetic perspective, Tanys, where do we most often see self-worth disruptions show up in our body or in our aura?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say you're looking at probably in the solar plexus for the most part, and often heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solar plexus is about that self-esteem, though, the self-worth, um, you know, where we look at ourselves and do that self-reflection. So when we think about that, we're also looking at like the mental emotional layers of the aura. Um, so those are around here. You can't see me around here. Um, it differs for everybody, but it's that part that it would show up in. I would say in that area of the body. So you're looking at like stomach issues if you've got self-esteem, or sometimes shows up as anxiety, and so then the anxiety would be the nervous stomach, that tightness in the chest kind of thing. If you're feeling anxious, because anxiety is usually about worrying about what's going to happen, and so if we don't trust ourselves to know how to deal with something that's coming, then that's when we're worried about what's going to happen, right? Because we don't know what that looks like.
Interesting. I know it's like driving a car. There are many of us who love driving a car because it's getting us from A to B, but
Mm-hmm.
not just A to B. Sometimes it's about the vision, it's the visual. Then there are others who are, I have my driver's license and I'm not driving because that just makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have someone drive me, or I'll take the bus.
Yeah.
And there are those, and we saw a lot of that over COVID, where people stayed inside.
Yeah.
One and didn't feel the need to ever leave. But now there's not COVID.
Yeah.
And they've been, if they're government employees, they've been asked to come back to the office. Would that make you nervous? The question is, how does your inner critic feel about that requirement energetically? I've been called back to a place I'm not sure I can handle.
Well, and I think energetically that did make a huge difference, right? When we were in COVID, we were not interacting with people, so we weren't practicing our skills of being social. We weren't practicing our skills of maneuvering or transmuting energy like we often do. And so all of a sudden we've put in this position where we're like, okay, but I don't have trust in myself in those areas anymore. So we need to build that self-trust again. And that's what's nice about having the sort of on and off again back to work, right? Because you can sort of take a day and manage it and you're okay. So you can go home and go, okay, I was good. So then I can go back another day and be like, okay, there's another day. Okay, I'm good. I managed it. I'm good. But there is the piece of, it is just, you can have more control over your own environment and stuff, right? So it's certainly not an easy topic. There's a lot of aspects to that, I think. But in general, we don't like change. as humans.
There are those people who love change, and it's
There are.
let's change this, let's change that, let's change this, let's change that. Cars need to change the car every single year, or like me, I'm going to keep my car forever because
Yeah.
it does me well.
Yeah.
There are those
But
who are
that's
just like,
but why do we want to keep our cars forever? Sometimes it's financial, but I mean otherwise, if it were
yeah,
not financial,
think about
it's because we're comfortable.
safety. Yeah, comfort, safety. You know the car. You know when you need to make a left turn, how far that wheel will go, where your
Mhm.
hands want to be on the wheel. It's comfort,
Yeah. So
and
we're not
and then
worried and judging ourselves that we can't
yeah,
actually perform in another car,
yeah,
right? In that example. Yeah, it's fascinating. The human psyche is amazing, but our brain does tend to tell us a whole lot of stories that aren't true. You know?
lots of stories, lots,
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing how that works. Indeed.
and
Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say based on so we talked about self worth, reclaiming it. Let me backtrack. How does claiming self worth support um, severity and soul aligned boundaries?
So, are you meaning sovereignty?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And I need to have another sip of water. Who needs sovereignty? Who needs sovereignty? And
Well, I
and
think
here it is. We are hearing so much of sovereignty in the news today that I couldn't even have that come out of my mouth. Makes me wonder, what have I been listening to the last week and a half when all we've been talking about is sovereignty?
well, I think it's becoming more of an issue right now, and that is because we
Yeah,
need to build this self-worth, right? We are sovereign. We do have that innate value within. That is part of being a sovereign being, as opposed to the self-esteem, because the self-esteem can be slashed by anything or anyone. It's very like it's like teetery. It's like having a triangle on its like upside down triangle. It where self-worth is like having the triangle with the base on the ground and it's nice and grounded, right?
yeah,
So I think that's the sovereignty is a huge it is a huge topic right now for sure. Um, and
absolutely.
creating boundaries is a big part of that, right? This is my sovereign. I am a sovereign being. I am able and I have free will. I can make choices for myself. Um,
Exactly.
and as long as we're doing them with compassion, for those around us as well as ourselves, then those are the choices that we need to make,
And
right?
so it is.
And so it is.
And, and I appreciate how people, because that word sovereignty only shows up when you're in your um, history classes often
Mhm.
or speaking about politics. We could use that word in so many other ways. It's about
The
ourselves.
sovereignty, it implies pulling away from what's expected
Yeah.
to be more authentic, I think. Um, we get programmed and we're like, the self esteem really keeps us kind of stuck in that. I mean, I'm going to get a little bit conspiracy theory here, but keeps us stuck in that sort of matrix thinking, right? We have to do
Yeah.
this because everybody else does this.
Yeah.
Whereas sovereignty means I'm not going to do just what everyone else is doing unless what everyone else is doing is good for me, right? So it's about taking that and making the decision as opposed to just following and not actually doing the self-reflection as to how that feels for you. So it's not always going to be something different than what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
It's more about pulling that out and going, okay, do I believe this? Is this what I want? If it is, okay, then I'll do it. But if it's not, then how am I going to handle that? What else can I do? Be open and curious. What else is possible in that situation?
Open and curious.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, I was I was flying out to a conference, and waiting for my flight, a lot of people waiting for the flight. And then there was an announcement, if there's anyone who could wait for the next flight, that would be appreciated because we've overbooked. I was in the hotel business for a long time. I know what overbooked is. And they were offering an opportunity for you to use another time to hop on the flight. And if you needed to stay overnight, because the next flight is tomorrow, we would pay for your hotel, we'd pay for your dinner, we'd pay for. And I thought, wouldn't that be interesting? Because everyone's trying to get on that flight.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking, I think I could be a little bit late to get there to that conference. I think I could be a little late.
Or if you're, coming home from somewhere sunny and warm.
Yep.
I think you'd have a lot of volunteers staying an extra day.
Yeah, weather. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
appreciating that.
Yeah. When we embody that self-worth, what kind of changes do you think we should do in our lives to help us embody that self-worth?
The first thing that came up was read a great book. Read a book that
We lost her.
Oh,
there you're back.
Here I am.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
So reading for my self-worth, I would love to read a good book that excites me, that has me thinking about other circumstances that I may want to be a part of, or I recognize that I've been a part of it. I would have my journal out. I would be writing my 5 successes of my day. Every class I teach, I ask the participants, tell me about the 5 successes of your day. Maybe they arrived, maybe they haven't. Just as you come into this asana, this movement, think about the successes of your day. Maybe it's someone helping you come into these successes too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that is a way to build that self-trust, right? We set goals for ourselves, or we set out what we would like to, or what we would love to accomplish that day. And then if we're being reasonable with that and we actually do accomplish those, then we're actually building that self-trust that we are going to get things done on our list. And that's not always an easy thing, because we do need to be able to do that for ourselves and for others, right? If you mean what you say and say what you mean, kind of thing, is that sort of catchphrase for that. So absolutely. So I think creating that self-trust can take you a long way in building self-worth. So we do have a takeaway. So those of you that are watching, there is a phrase, of course. So what I would love for you to do is to place one hand on your heart, one on your solar plexus, because that's where we said we were going to be working today, right?
That's right. Heart and solar.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Take some deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Like Jacqueline says, stick your shoulders up and back and down. And another deep breath. And just repeat after me, please. I am worthy of love, success, and support.
I am worthy of love, success, and support.
My energy flows in perfect harmony with my truth.
My energy flows in perfect harmony in my truth.
And a deep breath in to anchor that in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. So trust that you have divinity within. That divinity within. That is why you are worthy. And we all have that spark. So because we are, we activate. What have you got going on, Jacqueline, coming up this week?
This week, working on putting together the vision board session in person and online. And then I have an event that I'm speaking at on February in Smiths Falls. So looking forward to that, getting the information out about how you can attend. It happens to be in a yoga studio. Shocking and not shocking. And I will be talking about yoga for your personal finances there.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. Excited.
Yeah. And for me, what have I got going on? Well, for those of you in town, I do have a Reiki share happening this Friday, if that's something that you're interested in participating in. I know that there's some activities happening with Beyond Being Human. So please go check out their site, beyondbeinghuman.org, I believe it is. And, come and check us out on Twillo Talk next week and come back and see us next week on here as well. 5 p.m. on Wednesdays. And it's always a pleasure hosting with you, Jacqueline. So thank you so much. And thank all of you for joining us either now or in the future. We hope to see you soon. Take care now.
Namaste.